Hello and welcome to a Not So Awesome review, and today we're looking at the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Tails action figure by Jakks Pacific. Tails is on a mission to find Sonic using his brains and tons of gadgets and, of course, his two tails. This figure has 14 points articulation, which is one more than Knuckles, and has the actual names of the figures correctly underneath it, going Sonic, Knuckles, Robotnik. So, Tails. Tails is probably the figure I was most excited about aside from Sonic. I don't know why, I just really like Tails for some reason. He's cool. You don't really need a bigger reason than that. He's like the techie guy, he's the smart guy, he flies around on a plane, he's got two tails, and he's a freaking fox. So yeah, Tails is pretty awesome in my opinion, and I'm really glad I found him the same day I found Knuckles. We have him here to review, and it's so weird to me because I like the figure, articulation-wise and everything. It looks great. It moves really good. It looks like Tails, but I don't know if maybe this is just me, but I feel like his face is just a little bit off in some weird way. Like, I wish instead of this happy, really staticky looking version of him, that we got like a smirk or something instead, because I feel like that would fit the trailer a little bit better. I don't know, I feel like he looks too much like his video game counterpart, which is a little bit weird to say. The figure, aesthetic-wise, again, looks amazing. He has that fur texture on him, he has the little bangs on top of his head, you know, his fox ears, he has his two tails. He looks really, really good. The only thing they kind of cheaped out on this figure, compared to the others, is he doesn't have his shoelaces painted at all. There's molding there for them, and molding there for the buttons around it, but there is no paint, which is, again, the only thing they kind of just styled it back on, which is fine. The articulation on this figure basically makes up for all of that. He does come with his little blaster here, which I guess we'll see him use in the movie. Looks cool, has a good amount of paint, gold on the end, yellow, gray, so it's nice. They did a good job with that, at least. But yeah, it's just his head. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a smile. He's looking straight on, which I'm fine with. I prefer figures to look straight on. I don't really like it when figures are painted looking to the left, looking to the right, unless you have multiple heads. It just limits posing, because then they're just looking off in one direction. They're always facing that way. This one, at least if you're looking forward, and I can turn your head, you know what I mean? But yeah, the face, I don't know, to me, feels off. It's not bad, but honestly, just something about it looks kind of off. I would have preferred something more like this, just in my opinion. I really like that serious look he has on there, or this kind of like smug, almost smile look he has over here. I don't know, just the happy look, it's good. It actually fits him really well if you look at this picture over here, but instead we got this one with his mouth open, and it looks off. But yeah, that's my main complaint. I'm sure we're gonna get another Tails. I'm sure we're gonna get one of everybody else again in future waves, with different head sculpts and maybe different hands and accessories. It's Jakks Pacific. They will definitely reuse the molds for these figures for at least a couple of waves, so I'm not too worried about us not getting a different head eventually. But yeah, for this initial one, it feels a little bit off to me. Anyways, taking a closer look at the figure when it comes to articulation and everything, I do want to mention actually the tail. Let's move his gun out of the way here. The tail itself is on a ball peg, just dropping everything here, and it does make him back heavy, unfortunately. So trying to stand him up with the tail, or his tails I should say, standing up, it's really difficult. He just wants to fall back, especially when it's on something like this that's kind of unbalanced to begin with. The best way I found is just to turn his tail upside down, the way you kind of saw it a second ago, and just have that hold him up. Use it to kind of just balance himself there. It does pop off, not easy, but not like difficult. Like, it's not going to just fall off like it just did a second ago, but for the most part, you know, it is tight, so it will hold, which is good. Yeah, the tails look good. Again, the shoes, you guys can kind of see here, they didn't go ahead and paint the shoelaces or these little buttons right here, which kind of sucks. It doesn't even have any treads on the bottom of his shoes, which again, I feel like they cheaped out on him just a little bit, but I can't complain because he's such a really good figure. I mean, again, his tails do move basically all the way around. I hope that we will get a version with them kind of like spread out and everything. He can move his head left and right, which is really good. Just bobbing up and down a little bit, but not much. The hair looks really nice. The eyes are painted pretty good. Mine does have a little bit of a black splotch right there, which is a little bit annoying. Can't kind of get it out of there, but it is what it is. Anyways, arms. Move up that much. Down. all the way around. Again, same thing with the elbows that do more than 90 degrees, or basically 90 degrees. It goes up to his face. I mean, you can't really ask for more than that with the figure. And we do have that rotation at the elbow right there. That was me kind of accidentally forcing that out. And then we do have rotation here at the wrist, if I can get it. The wrist is a little bit tight, but it's workable, and, you know, tight is better than loose. So there's that. Leg can kick forward that much, can kick back that much, and again, it is falling off easy-ish, but I feel my hand kind of pressuring it out, so it's not just gonna, you know, it's not just gonna fall out. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. But anyways, can kick back about that much. I think the tail might get in the way a little bit. If I can rotate this out sideways that much. Knee, and then of course rotation at the knee and rotation again here at the foot a little bit. And yeah, so tail a little bit annoying because again you can see it does pop off, but it's again still pretty tight, not bad enough that I would say, oh, it's a deal breaker for whatever reason. It's just a little inconvenient, and being able to take it out and switch it upside down so you can stand up is actually a bonus, because otherwise I have no idea how I would have this figure standing, aside from maybe just having to put him on a figure stand or something. He does have pegs on his feet, so I'm sure I can find something to peg his feet onto if I need to, but that's pretty much that. Anyways, for a quick comparison, here he is next to the Sonic Adventure 2 Tails and the video game version from Jakks Pacific, and you can see here, he is a little bit taller than the video game version. Part swapping, again, won't work, unfortunately, this time. The peg does fit into the glove for him, but it's too loose. The peg holes on here are too loose, so it won't fit in there. Shoes, you can kind of get his shoes on there. They're going to fit really loose. You can't do it the other way around. I mean, you might if you heat it up, but it's going to be really tight and really hard to get it out, so just a heads up on that. And yeah, really not much else to say here. I do really like him. I think he looks really cool. I don't know, I feel like out of all of them, he definitely needs shading throughout his body, because from what we saw in the trailer, he does have a little bit of kind of shadowing highlights that look a little bit, well, kind of like a fox, I guess, which is pretty accurate for him. So, yeah, aside from his face being, I don't know, to me, something about it being off, I really like it. This one, I really like too. It looks like video game him. I have no complaints on him. And Adventure 2 one, it's honestly the one that sticks out the most. I like it, again, nostalgia-wise, but yeah, I don't know, I wish, again, articulation onto him, and hopefully that will be something we get in the future. And here he is next to Sonic and Knuckles, and these figures all look really good together. I'm glad to have at least completed this trio. I know I don't have Robotnik. Again, I'm not going to try too hard to get him, so if you don't see a review of him, that's going to be why, because, well, I'm just not really that interested in getting him, at least as much as I was with these guys. They look really good together. With Sonic 3 announced, it makes you wonder, you know, who's going to be in that? Are we going to get Shadow, Amy, anybody else? Just anybody else would be amazing. Who knows, we might have like any surprise characters showing up in Sonic 2 for all we know. But having these three I should say, in figure form, I actually really like it. Usually I'm not a fan of movie figures when it comes to things like Marvel Legends or Figuarts or stuff like that. I usually steer clear of movie iterations of characters, movie versions of Batman, movie versions of the Avengers, of Spider-Man. I just kind of usually take a backseat on that. I don't know why, I'm just not as interested. But when it comes to Sonic here, these feel like definitive versions of them, even though they're not the video game versions that I love and I grew up with and everything. I don't know, something about their aesthetic, their realistic take on them, it's enough that it's still very reminiscent of the video games, very reminiscent of the cartoons and the comics, enough that I can get behind it to say, yeah, I really love it. And the fact that these figures are so well done, you know, the articulation on them is nice, it's pretty tight, you can see all of them standing here. Again, Tails has to have his tails upside down, but the fact is he can stand, which is good. They all articulated really well, and I love them. Honestly, for $10, again, $10 each, a steal, and I recommend them hands down. And yeah, not much else to say here other than, yeah, I like the figure. Again, the face is a little bit off to me, but I can work with it. It's fine. You know, the figure, I guess the biggest downfall on him is the fact that he is back heavy because of his tails. I should have expected that, you know, from just knowing it is Tails and seeing the way they were oriented. The other Tails, the video game one, doesn't have the same issue, but to be fair, his are more distributed to the left and right, so it helps balance it a little bit, while this one has just like a giant chunk going up or sideways, depending on how you position it, so it makes sense that he wouldn't be as well balanced, but it's still a really good figure, especially if you can get past the fact that while messing with it, you might accidentally pop the tails off. They do pop on easy enough, and again, they hold the position, so they're not, you know, weak, they're not falling down. So I honestly can't complain too much about it, even at all. It's a good figure, and I do recommend it if you are a Sonic fan, Tails fan, just looking forward to the movie. It's a great thing to pick up. And yeah, that'll pretty much wrap up the Sonic reviews for a little bit here, till we get some more figures. I do want to get the Tails with the plane. I think it's like a little set thing. I think that's for like the 2.5-inch figures, but if I see that when it comes out, I'll probably be picking it up. I'll be picking up Wave 2 for sure of the figure line, depending on how the figures. If it's like just a rehash, if it's like the same exact Sonic and there's no difference, then, you know, I'll pass it up. But if it's Sonic and he has maybe new paint or different accessories, different hands, different facial expression, yeah, then I'll definitely pick it up and do a review whenever those come out. I know that they have been kind of announced, but not revealed at all. We do have some new Sonic figures coming out in the future that probably won't be too far off, so yeah, expect more Sonic stuff in the future on this channel. In the meantime, I do have a few different things coming up, at least one more video this week, something else that's kind of in the mail, but kind of not. We'll see how that goes. And from there, I don't know, I might do a customizing video at some point here. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing more Sonic stuff pretty soon. Excited for the movie. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, I guess. Thank you all for watching again, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.